Hola ragazzi.
Hola, ragazzi.
We are, I mean, I am Adorable Frog from Italy,
And I am Inferno Rabbit from Brazil.
and we are going to talk in this channel uh, about serious films, video game story on video games, and even about story that we made up in GDR game. Talking about the GDR game. And for starting, for the first video of the channel, we are going to talk about our favorite, one of the favorite series that we watch together, because it's kind of thing that we do together, and will be
Dexter. Dexter is started on 2006 and ended at 2013. It has 8 seasons and it's basically a drama thriller that talks about a serial killer that works in as a foreign specialist on blood analysis.
yeah, he's the guy
And
that watch in the crime, worked for the police, because we have to say that he worked for the police, and he
yeah,
watched the how the guy get killed, so find better. I mean, it make easier for the. He's a scientific the guy, where the guy from the scientific with the gas and the little sweet and
he's the cool guy.
yeah.
He's the cool guy.
Yeah, he's the cool guy that say to you, no, you cannot enter, and there is the thing that you cannot allowed. And but is even.
A serial killer.
Mhm.
And his works actually helps him a lot in this thing because we see that with this work and with his techniques, he learns about how to kill and how to hide a corpse, how to get out of a crime scene without had discovered.
He got an advantage because he knows the things. He did that and that and that. It's a pretty net tactics. And the curious thing about this series is that he talks about himself. Is not there is not third person that talk about the story.
Tô gravando vídeo. Eu avisei.
The cool part about this series is that Dexter talk about himself, of the things that appears around him. For example, there is not a person out of the camera that say to the public that he is a serial killer. He talk about himself about he is a serial killer in inner of him. So we are not doing a spoiler because you will know that he's a killer since I mean you can understand even in the intro, but if you are a bit like tired and you are not understanding some things, you can he say to you after going out from his home. I think so when he go to work, the first
Oh, yeah.
5 minutes of this, so there is nothing special. And
And I think this thing of it's him that talks about him, and in this type of thing, we can really feel and understand his thoughts and his reason. In this way, I think we can be more close to the chapter, which is really interesting. And in this series, because of that, because we get really deep in his thoughts, we start to think about those stuffs. I start to think about the stuffs, about how he thinks, how those stuff is for him.
Yeah, but
And
there is a reason that because he does those things. I mean, he's not a killer that kill. I mean, somebody cut my way on the road and I will kill him. No, he kill for a reason, right?
right, he has a code made by his father that discovered this part of him and decided to help him to survive to the society. So basically, he have this code that he can only kill bad people, criminals, basically.
Okay,
So
how can him recognize or how it works the code? Because it's a code, but what does it mean?
the code says basically that now that you are going to kill somebody, kill someone that deserves. And he can recognize it for actually his works help him a lot. He works on a police, so he's full of criminals around. So
Yeah,
sometimes he
he is able even to accede the database of the criminal, so
yeah.
he got an advantage on it. But we can see that he got step. For example, the first step is watching the victim. If the victim is aggressive or I don't know, is a guy that like to go in some place to watch kids because he's a bad person. You have to scout it. Then start to sometimes to approach to the victim to try to do a link with him and try to understand why it does those things, right?
Yes,
The third part is the camera of the dead, the room of the dead.
the best part, in my opinion.
Yeah, because he do that is not a classic serial killer that bam kill you or I cut your
It's
throat.
it's symbolic, it's sentimental.
Is
He
a
puts
ritual. He call him
it's a
a
ritual.
ritual. Is something that makes him feel good because is we can say that he's a bit paranoid. He is he, I think that they choose the best person to do that film because he seems like he is the typical guy at the bar that doesn't drink water and he feel literally in the wrong place. It is the wrong place. There is a person that talk loud and drink beer and treats this guy with his water alone and drink his water watching around and it is not like happy. He's just there for no reason. It is this guy Dexter got his face every time in every season of the and it makes it good because he's a psychopathic. He doesn't feel happiness. He doesn't feel like sorrow. He doesn't feel, or at least at the end, at the start of the series, because the
Yeah.
code is even being a normal person or pretend it. So the code
And
is
he pretended very well, in my opinion.
uh,
He knows like to pretend
yeah, but
as a normal serial killer, I
there is
think.
that part that you say, how you spent all this time, they called me at work, uh, to pretend that you have to kill someone, or I did late, or I'm going out to take cigarette. I mean, you can do that one, two, three, four time, but the first time, fifth time that you do that, my girlfriend start to say to, I don't know, for to my my company at work. You work a lot in the night, right? And she said, no, no, you have to explain something to me. You can do that for like how many season does got?
Eight,
You
eight
cannot do
seasons.
that for 8 season. Come on, it's 8 year. You you cheated your wife for 8 year. Wife, girlfriend, whatever could be. And um, we are talking about the killing
The
because
cold, yeah.
yeah, the third part the killing is the room of the dead, and he does a lot of things. You can say those things the first episode. Don't we are not doing nothing, and he does he put the protection, the thing for not letting a single proof of his past. And the fourth part of the serial killer is the last step.
Eh, Uh, get out with the body.
No, no, is the trophy.
Right, the trophy.
Because as a serial killer that you have to respect, he got have to a weak point. Because every serial killer want in the inner of him want to be discovered. So he doesn't want
Yeah.
to be discovered, but he wants something about his victim. So he got that trophy that is a little glass with a drop of the blood of the the guy,
The victim.
the victim, and he put that thing in a little box that he hides, and every sometimes to make him feel good, he watch it for it's like an old hunter that turned back to home and got head of every animal that he killed around the house. He got that little box with blood, drop of with glass and blood. And but this Dexter is not alone in this series, right?
No, he has a lot of people around him and people that start to change him, I think. And this code makes him create uh, relations around him and pretend feelings that I think in some point he
They are
starts to
too
go deep.
much.
They are too much, in my opinion, in a good way, because I always want good things for him, even if he's a serial killer. Was one of those things that make me think about this series in all the 8 seasons that, like, why the hell I want good things for a serial killer. This is not right.
Is not
But I
right,
think,
but these show what for us not work. I mean, someone that is bad deserves to recite bad thing, and he give to them because he loves good person. He stay around good, even if he doesn't like go to play bowling, but he go to because he is in the code, but he could not, even if there is a guy on the series. I don't remember the name. He's a cop. The sergeant.
mm, I
I don't
forgot.
remember. I don't remember because is the typical is the gift that say surprise motherfucker. It's from the series. This guy is an opponent of Dexter. We can say that, right? Is an
Yeah.
opponent. Maybe not in the first season, but in the next season start to do go in conflict with him.
Yeah, in the first they are like uh, two
Not
people at
friend,
work
but
that
yeah, work
yeah,
together. They work together. I
yeah.
don't like you, you don't like me, but okay, we work together. Fine. We
In the
don't go.
second the things go more
Yeah, yeah, and
tense.
then start to be in this conflict, and I like it because even if he start to be harassing, to chase Dexter, to go inside in his private life, Dexter will not kill him. Even if he wants, he will not kill him because he doesn't respect the code. Because at the end, soaks, dogs, something like that.
Dogs. Yeah.
Dogs is not a bad person. He just do his job and one thing that is good, and in at the end is not something bad, right?
I don't think so. And I think in this series they show a part of a serial killer. I mean, I think works only for Dexter because they made up like that. They create these for us like Dexter. But we have this thought that serial killers don't know what is right and what is wrong, and so they kill person.
Yeah, we see a serial
And
killer as a bad person that is crazy and kill person
yeah,
for no reason. I mean,
they don't
they
have
exist,
this
but
this
the real serial killer is a bit like him. Is someone that as us, someone that and show us how can a person can can go in our life, being someone else, being someone else.
yeah.
Then the feeling that we gave to us, we stay I stayed because from Italy to Brazil there is a delay of 4 hours more or less, and I stayed even at from this I mean I stayed awake until the 6 a.m. to watch the last episode of this season. I did
In the first
I mean,
chapter.
I did like the seven on season 4. I remember on season 4 because I was so I say like I cannot. I start to I was saying like okay stop it, we can end tomorrow, but then I said like, fuck I cannot sleep. Go for another and ruined because I was like there with one
I
eyes
remember those
closed.
times.
Yeah, was really good. We can say that I liked the series. In my opinion, is one of the best series that you show me because she showed to me, and we watched it together. But I think that is not the best series that I saw alone, or at least something that got a series because I put into these classifics even my cartoons, my old cartoons. So I'm sorry, but yeah, as a film, I think that is the best series I ever saw. Even if I don't like how it ended, because
Agree.
I think that they could a little not in something not in like something totally different, a little different. they could did something to end completely the series, but they left you with the something in your mouth that say, where is the season 9? Where is the season 9? I want it, but yeah, we
Some
can't.
people still talk about the season 9 saying that will arrive, but I don't believe on that.
We don't hope, because otherwise we start to say, oh, okay, I want it, I want it.
Yeah. In my opinion, yeah, it was one of the best series I ever watched as well. It was the I watched good series, but this was the besides Game of Thrones, I think the only one,
Ah.
the only one that made me like watch it without stop. When I watched for the first time when I was at high school, the first year or the second, I don't know. And I have a bit of time, more time than I have now at university. And I spend my whole free time watching Dexter. I basically breathe Dexter. My life was Dexter.
Game of Thrones or Dexter?
Dexter.
Okay, okay.
So I will love Dexter forever. And yeah, the end was eh, I don't like it. It was a bit deception, and because I spent the whole series want something to him, and at the end they don't gave me that, so I was disappointed. And I don't know if I want a season 9.
No, I don't.
I think they they don't did they don't made the last episode well, and I don't think a thing
Season,
after
maybe
that.
even the season 8 was not, and was not like so accurate as the I mean, uh, the first was so strange and so new, that was so good, and they continue well. At the end, the last season I didn't like it, because they introduced they they did something wrong. I mean, they put a thing that shouldn't put, and everything ruined. But we don't do a spoiler, so even if it's
Yeah.
ended.
And I think a lot of people already watch it, but okay. Even if there's someone that didn't watch it.
Okay.
And I think it's good also because the murders. I don't know if you felt the same thing, but while the seasons start to go, the murders start to get more interesting, in my opinion. At least season 7 and the 6, the murder
I don't
of
know.
the Trinity.
I just appreciate. I just appreciate that they don't show blood, or how. This is important, because they don't show how he killed them.
They give you a I
But
imagine how
I
he does, but he
yeah, but
doesn't actually show.
no. It's like there is a guy lay there. Okay, I got a knife and I do that. You don't see when I put my knife into his chest, but I do. You hear that. You maybe can see a bit of blood, but you don't see the blade in his chest. And I as a person appreciate that, because those things make me got like I go down, I crash in the ground if I saw something like
For me, I don't mind.
that. Good for you. That was our first video about review of something that we
Dexter.
like. Yeah, this case was Dexter, our first and favorite series that we did together, and nothing. We will come as soon as possible with another review about something else that we will decide the same night that we'll open the recorder. As always,
As always.
as always. Okay,
Yeah, we
from
hope that
you,
we we hope that you like the video
I don't.
and because you're a better person.
Uh-huh. From Adorable
You
Frog, and
and Infinite Rabbit.
we say, hola
Bye
ragazzi.